going to be some really good games, a whole bunch of fun. I hope you guys are excited about it. We have news coming out of the NFL. We have news of the Eagles firing their offensive coordinator, the Chargers firing their offensive coordinator, Mike Tomlin stepping down as the head coach of the Pittsburgh Steelers, and Zach Taylor, the Cincinnati Bengals head coach, is the warden of the AFC North, as he is the only returning head coach for that division in the 2026 NFL season. So that division is going to be very interesting going into the 2026 NFL season. You're going to have the Ravens with a new head coach, the Steelers with a new head coach, the Browns with a new head coach. What do the Steelers do at the quarterback position? What do the Browns do at the quarterback position? How is Lamar Jackson going to take the new head coach? There's a lot of interesting aspects that's going to happen. Does that mean the Bengals might be cooked? Actually, no, it don't, because they're going to be the only one with, security of a former head coach. Now, yes, they need to work on that defense, but when you look at this AFC North division, does this mean Aaron Rodgers isn't coming back? Does this mean the Steelers go in a different direction with a quarterback? Are they going to go with Will Howard, who they drafted at Ohio State? Are they going to draft another quarterback? Let's look at the Browns. You've got Deshaun Watson coming back, but you also have Shedeur Sanders sitting there as well. What are they going to do with that? You have the Ravens with Lamar Jackson, who the Ravens want to get a new deal done because he is due $74.5 million next year and the year after that, and they want to lower that salary cap hit. So there's going to be a lot of interesting things that happen in the AFC North. So, Armchair, do you think we can stop Josh Allen and Cook? Yes, I do, JJ. I really do. The Bills have lost their two-star blocking tight ends, or wide receivers, and Tyrell Shavers and Gabe Davis. They are the best blocking wide receivers they have. So, Harbaugh and Tomlin need to go. Well, Harbaugh is gone, and so is Tomlin. Seahawks have got a tough game against the 49ers. I get it. The 49ers are beat up. They're not going to have Kittle. We'll have to wait and see what happens with yes, they have a really good backup tight end. But we might see a Fred Warner. We don't know. No, I doubt the Chiefs would bring back Tyreek Hill. What's up, Bryce? I really do. I doubt the Chiefs would bring back Tyreek Hill. Coming off of that injury, right? Coming off of that injury where he tore every ligament in his knee, his age, and everything like that, that is going to be a big ask to come back. It really is. So when you look at the Kansas City Chiefs, they have more problems than just wide receiver. They need a running game in Kansas City bad. I don't think Pacheco or Hall is the guy there. We shouldn't pay so much attention to who's in and who's out with the Bills. We should focus on ourselves. I agree, KG. Jeremiah Love. Yeah, I have that feeling as well. I think the Chiefs will draft Jeremiah Love out of Notre Dame as their running back. But also, we got to think, Breece Hall is going to be a free agent this year. Okay, Breece Hall is a free agent. And they were going to trade for him, but the Jets wanted a third rounder, and the Chiefs only wanted to give up a fourth rounder. So it's going to be interesting to see this free. Do you think Kelsey comes back? Well, that's good. Do I think Kelsey comes back? No, I don't. James Cook doesn't perform against solid defenses. He's only played good against the Browns defense. That's mess. Cooks is a good. James Cook is a good running back or wide receiver. No, wait a minute. Cook is the running back. Cooks is the wide receiver. I like Tyler Shuck. I can barely hear you, but go ahead. Yeah, I can hear you. That would be a big loss. Rams lose, Stafford chokes, cold weather. Rams continue the 0-4 losing streak. Yikes. As a Broncos fan, I'm calling Broncos versus Patriot in the championship. James Cooks has 900-yard games. Bills by 10. Bills don't got nothing going on. I don't want to see the Swifties on my TV next year. What's up, Derrick Henry? I think the Titans are going to draft Jeremiah Love. That is a possibility. The Bills only have 3 wide receivers, right? What's going on, guys? You're with the Seahawks. Awesome. Awesome. Hey, Chef, what's going on, brother? Well, you can look at it that way, but also I'm the Bills fan. I got the football back in the 80s with the electronic hand game. Hey, I remember that game. I had that electric football game. I had that thing all the way up until it died in the late 90s, man. That was my go-to game when I was bored, that electronic football game. Man, that thing was great. Do you think the AFC North teams do good next year? Well, I really can't say if the North teams are going to do good because I have no idea who the coaches are. Right? You hear Brian Daboll, you hear Mike McDaniel, Raheem Morris. I doubt John Harbaugh is going to pick any team in the AFC North. You've got Clint Kubiak, Davis Webb. I mean, there are so many coaches out there. Mike McCarthy is another one. I mean, I really don't know where. I mean, the Browns have talked about bringing in Mike McDaniels. They tried to go after Notre Dame's head coach. He said no. They tried to go after Ohio State's head coach. He said no. So, Brian Flores is going to be interesting. Yes, Pickens is a free agent next year. I have a feeling we're going to lose Vance Joseph. I don't know what's going to happen with the Eagles and A.J. Brown. A.J. Brown gave up on his team. Plain, simple, cut and dry. A.J. Brown gave up on his team. Let's go, right. All right, Alien, Bills Mafia in the house. Well, you gotta understand with the Denver Broncos, we have signed every free agent we need to sign except for one, which is John Franklin Myers. So that's why the Broncos went from having around $100 million in cap space next year down to about 50 because we signed everybody we needed to sign or everybody we wanted to sign. Like I said, the only one we have not signed is John Franklin Myers, but I keep hearing rumors that we're going to get that deal done here pretty soon. Now, here's the problem, right? You've got Arizona that needs a head coach. You've got the Browns, the Titans, the Steelers, the Dolphins, the Ravens, the Giants. So there's 7 head coaching openings, right? But there's not that many coaches to go around to those 7 places. Arizona's talking about going with another defensive-minded head coach. I do not like that. I think they need to go young and offensive-minded, especially if they get rid of Kyler Murray. Atlanta, you just had a defensive-minded head coach with, and are you going to go another one? Are you going to go offense? Are you going to go younger, experience? It seems like nobody is willing to hire a head coach until right before the Super Bowl or right after the Super Bowl. All right, Derek Hater, have a good one, brother. Stignetti is not leaving Indiana. Stignetti is not leaving Indiana. He's not. Because you got to remember, guess who is the quarterback of Indiana next year? Mendoza's brother. So, well, his brother's gonna get the nod to go first. Have the leg up in the starting role. Kyle, thank you for the follow. I greatly appreciate that. Steelers could match his contract, and he was born in Pittsburgh. What's the latest on Dobbins? What I'm hearing is J.K. Dobbins won't be back until next week if we make it that far. Okay, let's not get ahead of ourselves. Right, we've got to focus on the Bills. Every team needs to focus on who they're playing today. I don't want to hear, well, this AFC matchup, that NFC matchup, this AFC championship, that NFC. No, you don't. You want to go, okay, the Broncos got to focus on the Bills. Bills got to focus on the Broncos. 49ers got to focus on the Seahawks. Seahawks got to focus on the 49ers. Because if you look ahead, you're going to be watching ahead at home on the couch in front of your TV. Right? The Bills are a good team, even though they are beat up. They are still a good team. You still have Josh Allen. But here's another thing. And this is why I think coaches are waiting. If the Bills do not win, could they fire Sean McDermott? That is a possibility. Go Denver Broncos, much love. Thank you. Yes, I love the Broncos. So if the Bills don't win against Denver, because you got to remember, Josh Allen has only won one road game in the playoffs. That was last week against the Jaguars. So we stopped Jordan Love. We stopped the best quarterback in the NFL at the time, Dak Prescott. Hold on. We stopped Dak Prescott. We stopped Jalen Hurts. We stopped Patrick Mahomes. So what else do you got to see? I mean, I get you're a Broncos fan. So I'm trying to. So what you want me to do is try to hype you up more. So, okay, let's look at it this way. We're going to have Dre Greenlaw back. Hufungus completely healthy. Singleton is healthy. But Josh Allen is the same guy that lost to the Miami Dolphins 30-13. Josh Allen is the same guy that lost to Drake May in Buffalo. That is a great question. Okay, let me take that one real quick. With the Denver Broncos offense, right? Having Lucas Kroll back is a big upside for the Denver Broncos because he's a good blocking and receiving tight end. Also, the Buffalo Bills are 22nd, I believe, 22nd or 23rd in the NFL in run defense. I think we go with McLaughlin in this game as our starting running back. And then you got to think, well, that's what I was just saying. That's why you go with McLaughlin, because he's more of your tackle runner, right? He runs through the tackles, the A and B gap. I think we got to get Bo Nix out on the outside, use his legs more, open up that play action pass a lot more, because that's where Bo Nix thrives. We cannot handicap Bo Nix in this game. We have to take the training wheels off. We have to. And the key factor in my mind's eye for this game is the drop passes. The Broncos cannot have a ton of drop passes. If we don't do that, right? If we don't have any drop, I'm not saying incompletions, I'm saying drops. Big difference. Drops are a catchable ball that the receiver does not bring in. If we limit those down to like 2, this game is going to go good. If we can get McLaughlin with 70 yards rushing, RJ Harvey with 40, 50 yards rushing, that'll be good because that'll take pressure off of Bo Nix. That will suck that defense down, which will open up Cortland Sutton, will open up Franklin, will open up Pat Bryant. I doubt Bo Nix those 2 interceptions. J.K. Dobbins will not be back until next week, is what I'm hearing. Oh, I'm absolutely nervous about this game. Will you still go live in the offseason? Zach, going live for the games is very risky, especially in the playoffs. You can get banned very quickly. You're a Texans fan. Wait, hold on. You're a Texans fan, right? No, he's a Texans fan, Robbie. Robbie is a Texans fan, the same team that we beat in Houston, in NRG Stadium. So go ahead. Okay, but before you say that, but hold on, before you say who won 3 games and came back against the Jacksonville Jaguars. So you can't go, you beat us with a backup, but that's the same backup quarterback that, erased a massive deficit and won you a game against the Jaguars. So you can't have your cake and eat it too if you want to go, we lost because of the backup, but we won because of the backup. We can't do that. I'm gonna give you your props. The Texans have the number 1 defense. That defense is really scary. This is going to be a great game between the Texans and the Patriots. Worry about Drake May first before worrying about the AFC Championship game, because if you worry about who's after the Patriots, you're not going to be playing who's after the Patriots. You're going to be sitting at home. Worry about the Patriots. What's up, Apostle? Here's the thing that worries me about the Texans, and I'm not gonna lie, is CJ Stroud, and I'm a huge CJ Stroud fan. But if you have a game with CJ Stroud having 2 fumbles and an interception like you had against the Steelers, going into Gillette Stadium, you're not coming out a winner. CJ Stroud has to know going in, especially this game. He don't have to play hero ball. He don't got to win this game. He just sure as hell cannot lose it. That is the key factor. Bills haven't won an away playoff game besides last week since 1992. Broncos or Bills who's winning. I got the Broncos. Drake May had the same amount of fumbles and interceptions as well. Josh Allen's Bills will play in high. Yeah, who's calling me? What's up, Gregor? I'm listening. Go ahead. Let him talk, guys. Let him talk. Well, here's the deal. I'm going to be completely honest. Can I please talk? All right, here's my deal. If the Broncos lose and it's the Bills Texans, I'm rooting for the Texans. If the Broncos lose and it's the Bills Patriots, I'm rooting for the Bills. One, they've never won a Super Bowl. They've been to 4. If the Texans get in and the Broncos don't, hold on. If the Texans get in and the Broncos don't, the reason why I would be rooting for the Texans is this will be their first AFC Championship game in franchise history. and it'll be their first Super Bowl appearance if they make it. I like those kind of storylines. It's something new for the NFL. Okay, but on that aspect, then you can't come in and say the Broncos are going to lose because of Bo Nix because we respect our quarterback as well. Well, no, I'm just saying that. Go Niners! There we go. We got Niners in the house. They got a tough game up against Seattle in Seattle. Capster, I am a Broncos fan, as you can tell. Bo better show up and show out. I agree. Okay, let's talk about that game real quick because that is a very interesting game, and the reason why I say that, is, well, let's talk about it. Right, that's really not even my big focus. Is my focus is actually on the flip side. My focus is more on Seattle than what the 49ers do because we've seen the 49ers all year play beat up, play hurt, play without star players. But I've seen Sam Darnold play in the playoffs, and I've seen Sam Darnold not play up to his potential. Who's the most current version of Elway? Ooh, that's hard to say. So again, for the Seattle Seahawks, you have to have the Sam Darnold that comes in and plays the last time you played against the 49ers 2 weeks ago. You cannot have the Sam Darnold that plays like they did against the Texans, against a 40 some odd year old Philip Rivers, right? I get it. You're in Seattle. I get it. It's the home of the 12, but this is not the Legion of Boom anymore. You don't have Marshawn Lynch behind that offensive line anymore. This is completely different. This is different. Yeah, but it's not beast mode. It ain't beast mode. But the key component to this game is gonna be Sam Darnold. What's going on, ER and Dog? CP 1190. Aloha, Kawana. Man, I always mispronounce your name. Kihoani. Kiwani. CP nine Kahalani. Kahalani. Aloha. Look, hold on, guys. CP 1190. I hope you're not talking about me. Hold on, guys. Hey, give me a second. Give me a second. CP 1190. I hope you're not talking about me. Broncos are going one and done, and you cocky ass fans are gonna go learn not to ask for Josh Allen. I'm not cocky. I've never been cocky. I am a very realist fan, and I try to be as honest and unbiased as I can. So thank you for that, Eamon. Record shows otherwise, TJ. Oh, D is a Niners gang, man. He rides with the Niners. Thank you. Still standing. 2 weeks ago, the Seattle defense put Purdy in the foot down to 180 yards. Me a fan? No, I'm talking about somebody else in my other chat. I've got my live on my phone and on my computer with two different sites. I try to run a dual live system, so I get, I get it on the Red app and I get it on TikTok as well. Guys, one at a time. Look, here's the deal. Hold on. But before we get into the stats, because I'm sorry, this is playoff stats don't mean crap. Stats and records don't mean crap in the playoffs except for seeding. They just don't. Playoff football is different than regular season. Regular season is different than preseason. But this is what you got to look at. You got to look at players. Now, yes, the 49ers are the walking mesh unit, and I love what Shanahan has done with this team. I think it's great. I think it should put him up there for Coach of the Year. I really do. But here you go. You got CMC. You got Brock Purdy, who's been here before, right? This ain't a first-time experience for Brock Purdy. Purdy's been in these situations before. Purdy's played in the big game before. Sam Darnold has not. Now, we got to look at it, though. Who do you have more faith in? No. The big game. The big game. The big game is the Super Bowl. So you got to look at this. Right? Going to see. Hold on, guys. Hold on. Going to Seattle is going to be tough. Going to Seattle is going to be tough. It is. You're not going to have Kittle. You're going to rely heavily on Jennings and on CMC. You are. But that 49ers defense, you might get my favorite middle linebacker back. You might, Fred Warner. Everybody knows I love Fred Warner, and I think he is the best middle linebacker in the NFL. That presence absolutely changes that defense. It does. Oh, I sure did, and I respond to it. Fred Warner said he is ready to go right now. Miss Laney, I doubt he plays this weekend as well. I doubt it, Miss Laney, but I did read reports and see reports that he is ready to go whenever they want to put him in. Now, if I were Shanahan, I would wait till next week as well because it's the NFC Championship game. You're right. That's the same thing with Denver, with J.K. Dobbins. You gotta get there. But here you go. This is the big factor, though. Well, I say Pats beat. Well, okay. We'll get to the Patriots and Texans here in a minute. But Pat's destiny is back. Oh, hey, it is. I mean, Patriots are playing really, really good. Drake May, second-year quarterback. I absolutely love your head coach. Great offensive coordinator. Y'all got a good team, but I'm sorry. And I'm going to be honest. I will be honest here. The Patriots have not played a defense of the caliber of the Houston Texans all year. They haven't. And look what they did against the Chargers last week. And the Chargers are not as good on defense as the Texans. So, I'm not saying that the Patriots can't win. I'm just saying it is going to be a tough, tough game. Now, a thing that goes in favor for the Patriots is the weather. It's going to be 35 degrees. I think could snow, possibly snow, something like that. So it's going to be very interesting. Oh, absolutely, it is. Better tell Drake May to book his massage therapist for Monday. Yes, hold on, guys. Who's talking to me? Where? Oh, City Boy. Oh, up in Chicago. Yeah, Chicago's going to be great. Chicago's going to be great. I mean, that. Hold on, guys. Hold on. I want to talk about this real quick. Hold on. The Rams are going into Chicago, playing the Bears at kickoff. It's going to be 17 degrees and possibly snowing. I love it. Love it. That is playoff football. I mean, the warmest game is going to be the Seahawks game. So all four games will be phenomenal. I agree. All four games are going to be great. You got the Bills Broncos, a rematch of last year. You got the Texans and the Patriots, the number one defense going up against who people think should win the MVP, Drake May. I don't. I think it should go to Matthew Stafford. And then you have the beat up cardiac 49ers going into play the Seattle Seahawks. And old man time, Matthew Stafford going into play second year quarterback Bears. Well, okay, we know that defense wins championships. We know that. And well, let's compare, guys. Come on. Let's compare for a minute. Look at the 2015 Broncos with that defense, and now look at the Texans. Their offense and defense. The Texans have a good run game with Woody Marks. They've got a phenomenal defense. So, well, the Texans defense is better than the Broncos. It just is. But what it's going to come down to, what's going to come down to, it's going to come to the offensive play. Once Drake May takes those hits in the cold, you think he's going to want to play. Riley Moss. The reason why people get on Riley Moss is because of the pass interference calls. Okay, but here's the difference in this game. If we're going to pass rush, we got to have contain. We got to have contain. If you're going to rush Benito, if you're going to rush Cooper, you got to keep contained. You can't let Josh Allen get out. Because the reason why you want to keep contained, keep him in that circle, good morning, mamas, is you want to have Franklin Myers, Roach, and Art Allen, be able to crash down the middle. You know, Zach Allen's going to be double teamed, which should hopefully open up, what's his name? Izaruki, I can always never pronounce his name, or Roach, or John Franklin Myers. We're going to have Greenlaw. We're going to have Singleton. We're going to have Ellis. All of our middle linebackers lock it down. Riley Moss, go ahead. To my knowledge, he is. To my knowledge, everybody but J.K. Dobbins is available to play. That is what I'm hearing coming out of Denver sports. is that everybody except JK is able to play. Now, again, with the Bills losing Gabe Davis and Tyrell Shavers, that is a big loss for the Bills. Those are their two big blocking wide receivers. They open up the run game. Now you do have Knox and Kincaid. You're going to have to lock the tight ends down because Josh Allen loves his tight end and I love his tight ends. They said he's in a walking boot, but he's good to go. Not if y'all have to play us. Hey, if a lot of people want the Bronco Patriots AFC Championship game, and it would be great. 2 second-year quarterbacks trying to get into the Super Bowl. It'll be a great matchup in Denver. A lot of people want that. But let's not go into this game though. And this is what I've been trying to tell. This is what I've been trying to tell all Bronco fans that I talk to on everybody's lives. Do not overlook the Bills. Don't do it. Let's focus. What's that? So are you talking about 7 or 8 man in the box? I don't know. I don't know if we're gonna play more nickel. I really don't know. We're gonna have to contain Cook. We have a very good run defense. Alex Singleton, with all of his flaws in the pass coverage, is a very good run stopping linebacker. Again, having Greenlaw back in there is going to be a big help as well. So it's going to be an interesting X's and O's matchup. Again, the altitude is going to play a factor. The cold is going to play a factor with that altitude. Yes, so yes, you are absolutely right. The Jaguars had the #1 run defense. And let's look at that real quick. The Jaguars had the #1 run defense, and they held the Buffalo Bills to 79 yards rushing. James Cook had 46 and Josh Allen had 33. So if you look at it that way, yeah, and that's how you win. I was rooting for Eagles, Pats, Super Bowl rematch. That would have been good. Again, I'm nervous about this game again. We have the first game of the divisional round. I'm glad I don't have to wait. It's the first one going. But it's the Buffalo Bills. It's Josh Allen. They beat us last year in Buffalo. The difference now is we're in Denver. And the difference now is our team is way different than it was last year. Way different. It is going to be a tough matchup. I know it is. Allen is a very tough quarterback, and I love his toughness. Well, no, I think what the problem with the Jaguars was is you quit running the ball. You quit running the ball. What's stopping the pass rush? Who's burning those DBs? Oh, are you talking about the Broncos who's stopping that pass rush? I'm not dodging, man. Uh, they don't really rush. The deal about the pass rush, though, yeah, it could be. It could be. The deal about it is it's going to be hard for the Bills' offensive line to stop that pass rush, but you have to play contain pass rush. You cannot rush and make big, wide gaps on the outside, or Allen's going to go through them. You got to play contain rush. You got to play contain rush. That is the big factor. You can rush with Cooper, you can rush with Benito, but you can't do these wide zone rushes. You got to play contain. You got to do to Josh Allen what you did to Patrick Mahomes. You got to keep him in that pocket. You got to. You got to keep him in that pocket. You got to keep Josh Allen in that pocket. If you're going to rush him, keep him contained. Make sure your interior three has an ability to just hit him. They don't got to sack him, hit him. Zach Allen leads the NFL in quarterback pressures. Zach Allen does. Just because he doesn't lead the NFL in sacks, it doesn't mean anything. Pressures is just as good. John Franklin Myers up there with pressures as well. So is Malcolm Roach. And Malcolm Roach is our best run-stopping interior lineman. And it is going to be very loud. I'm going to be honest. I'm worried about this game. I really am. I am worried about this game. I'm worried about every game the Broncos play in. I'll take it. I'll take it. I'll take being an underdog. I'll take it. I don't want anybody to say Broncos are favorites. I don't want none of that. We've done it before. You got to remember, right? Everybody wants to discredit the Broncos because of how they won this year, right? How many one-score games they won. Okay, but last year, the Chiefs led the NFL in one-score games, one-score victories. But they were praised, and rightfully so. They were two-time Super Bowl champions. But everybody's like, that's how you build a Super Bowl team. That's how you build a championship. You win these close games. Okay, you lost to Indy on a bull crap. Hold on. Let's talk about this. You lost to Indy on a call that hadn't been called, but 15 times, or 50 times in 15 years. You lost to the Chargers on a last-second field goal, and you lost to the Jaguars because you had too many turnovers. And it's like I said when we lost to the Jaguars, that was something we needed. That was something we needed. Our You know what? Going into last year, I told my wife I didn't care that we lost that game to 100-0. It was just good to be in the playoffs. Somewhere we hadn't been in 9 years. Now this year is different. This year is different. What's up, Pete Brady? Brandon Jones won't be back until possibly the Super Bowl. Yeah, but we won't have him back until possibly next week if we make it to next week. That's why I say we got to go with McLaughlin. Yeah. Here's the deal. RJ Harvey thrives in the red zone. RJ Harvey is our red zone threat. Having Lucas Kroll back is also going to be another threat, especially in the red zone. He's a big tight end. He's a blocking tight end, and he has sure hands. Sertan's going to have to play great in this game. Franklin and Bryant are going to have to play great in this game. Our O-line is going to have to hold up. And Bo Nix just cannot lose this game, right? He can win. He doesn't really have to win it, but he can't lose. It's the same thing with CJ Stroud. You don't have to win it. You just can't lose it. If we open the playbook, we probably just barely crack it open. No, not at all. Here's the deal about Bo Nix's deep ball. How many deep ball passes have been drops and not incompletions? There is a difference between a drop and an incompletion. There have been more drops with the deep ball than there has been incompletions. Bo Nix is second in the NFL in drops, only behind Trevor Lawrence. But they have the number 22, number 23. They do not have the number one pass defense. No, they do not have the number one pass defense. They're not, yeah, not even close. No, it's not about the Bills. Niner Nation, thank you for the follow. I greatly appreciate that. I hope so. Here's the key factor for me, and I've been saying it all week and all last week. You got to give Bo Nix plenty of time at the line to diagnose the defense. That is going to be a key factor. You have to give Bo Nix plenty of time at the line to diagnose that defense. He cannot get to the line with 6 to 7 seconds left on that play clock. He has to get to the line with about 15 to 17 seconds on the play clock. And you could see the irritation. Who needs to? Yeah, Sutton does, and so does Franklin and Bryant. But again, with how we run our offense, having Lucas Kroll back is going to be a huge plus. He's a good target across the middle of the field. I still, again, think we should go with McLaughlin and then RJ in the backfield. McLaughlin will get us more yardage per carry. RJ is very good in the red zone. Um, no, I would not. I would not run a two running back set like that. No. Because it contained. Oh man, it took that long to. Wow. I just got that after 50 minutes. I got that restricted for unoriginal content. After 50 minutes. Normally it's 5 minutes, but then it just pulls it on me. Wow. I don't know. The Broncos only average giving up 18 points per game. The Bills average giving up over 20. The, but we only give up 18. 23. I don't know. I don't know. Again, Allen is beat up, but he's still going to play, right? He's still going to play. Eh, I don't think it's going to be a shootout. I really don't. I think our defense is going to lock it in. I really do. Oh, I hope they do. That is the one key factor that I have to hope for. That because you're gonna have PJ Locke, you're gonna have Sertan, you're gonna have Riley Moss. Exactly. And that's just it. Nobody wants to remember that game with the Broncos playing the number one offense at the time, the Dallas Cowboys. And what did we do? We shut them down. And oh, by the way, in the second half of that game, we did not have Pastor Tan. I want them to keep. I want them to. No, because even then they'll doubt us. Even then they'll say something else happened, and that's fine with me. It is. I've said it all year. I don't want anybody in the sports world to say the Broncos are, favorites here. The Broncos are going to win the Super Bowl. I don't want that. Keep doubting us. Keep being like Nick Wright. Keep being like Stephen A. Smith. Go ahead. Keep being like Colin Cowherd. Oh, will Sean Payton go look for another quarterback this year? Keep doing it. I want them to because No, it didn't. No, it didn't. No, it absolutely did not. Even when we beat the even when we beat the Packers, it was because Michael Parsons was out. When we beat the Packers, it was because Parsons was out. Niner Nation, what do you got about the Niners, brother? What do you got, Niner Nation, about the Niners? It's going to be a tough game. It really is. They straight up did. They straight up did. And now they've got to go into a really hostile environment. If we do that, Buffalo is doubted for getting swamped by Miami. Absolutely, Niner Nation. I get it, and so the Seahawks are not the Eagles. The Seahawks are not the Eagles. You're going to be playing in a very hostile environment in Seattle, the home of the 12. The only factor that I do have in this game, and it really is for Seattle to win, Sam Darnold cannot play like Sam Darnold of old, right? In order for Seattle to win, I think so. You can't have because didn't they beat San Francisco or didn't they beat? Yeah, they beat they lost in Seattle this year. The Seahawks are 0-2 against Seattle this year. But again, that's regular season, and I don't take that Week 18 as anything. Um, losing Kittle is going to hurt. It really is. But again, when you look at this game, when you break this game down, you've got to look at what Sam Darnold you're going to get. Oh, okay, so the 49ers did win. Thank you, Ethan. What Sam Darnold are you going to get? That is the key factor. That is the key factor. What Sam Darnold are you going to get? Are you going to get the Sam Darnold? Well, different team, though. That was with the Vikings. Now this is with Seattle. Different team. Different environment. And when they talk about playing in Seattle, I remember watching the Texans almost beat the Seattle Seahawks in Seattle because Sam Darnold had 4 turnovers. One was a strip sack fumble in the end zone. So again, let's not think that the Seattle Seahawks are unbeatable. Let's not think that any of these teams are unbeatable. Any given Sunday, anybody can win and anybody can lose. But when you break it down, the key factor for every Seahawk fan is your quarterback has to play better than he's played in the playoffs. Your quarterback has to play at the most peak level he's played, or you're going to lose. You cannot have Seattle turn the ball over 3 times. You cannot have Sam Darnold fumble the ball and give the 49ers a short field because they're going to run it with Christian McCaffrey. They're going to throw it to Christian McCaffrey out of the backfield. Jawan Jennings, I think, is a good wide receiver. So Ricky Pearsall is another one. I get it. The Kittle loss is huge. I love George Kittle. I really do. I think he's one of the best tight ends in the NFL. But let's not think that, just because Kittle is out, their offense is done. You still got CMC. You still got Ricky Pearsall. You still got Jawan Jennings. you've got targets. You've got a pretty good offensive line, and you've got Brock Purdy, who is mobile and can get you yards. So what comes down with this game with the Seahawks, literally it falls on the shoulders of Sam Darnold, not their defense, not their run game, not their wide receivers, because they're all set in that area. It comes down to Sam Darnold and how he has played throughout his career, where he has his highs and he has his really lows. And we need him to be in the middle or in the high. Because if he's at the low, they don't win this game. They don't. The only thing that helped the Texans win with all those turnovers was they were playing an offense that couldn't move the ball. And so that is what I break it down to in this game for Seattle. Now in San Francisco, you absolutely cannot have any more injuries in this game. You can't. You cannot have any more injuries in this game if you're the 49ers. You can't do it. You just can't. You're running on fumes as it is. How did 49ers are starting backups all over their offense? I get it. The 49ers are. I get it. I do. The 49ers are a walking mass unit. I understand completely. Remember, I'm answering two chats. But when I look at this game, you've been winning with a walking mass unit all year. You have been. You've been winning with a walking mass unit all year. And it's Purdy's and McCaffrey on offense, and that's about it. Unfortunately, going to be tough to take on the Seahawks. What's going on, Niner Nation? Trent Williams, yep. Because he helps open up that run game. It's really hard to stop McCaffrey, though, right? Because even if you get him on the outside for a 2-yard pass, he could take it for 15, right? And having Ricky Pearsall, having Jennings, those are two really good targets for Purdy. And again, Purdy's legs are going to be a factor in this game. Now, because that's Sean Payton. That's Sean Payton. Their run game is okay. Hey, Storm Chaser Jay. Against the Chargers? No, it wasn't that much. No, it wasn't. Bo Nix ran for 49 yards. McLaughlin had 41. Harvey had 28. Bills got a weak run defense. Absolutely, the Bills had the worst run defense. The Broncos do have a very tough game. I'm not overlooking the Bills at all. I don't care if they're beat up. I don't care if they're saying Josh Allen is hobbling. I don't care. I think Josh Allen would go out on the field with crutches. He's gonna play, and he's gonna play like Josh Allen plays. We just have to play We just gotta play the way the Broncos need to play to come out of this game with a victory. That's it. It's I have not heard that. I've never even heard of the NFL doing that. I've never heard of the NFL stepping in and doing that. I've never heard of the NFL stepping in and saying that a player has to be on a pitch count. The only time I've ever seen the NFL step in on an injury is for a concussion. That's it. That's it. Oh yeah, I do not get no information or news off of Facebook. I'm sorry, Twitter is more reliable than Facebook when it comes to sports news. Yeah, that's what I was about to say. Does Josh Allen know that Josh Allen might be on a pitch count? Because somebody might want to tell Josh Allen. Yeah, somebody might want to call up Josh Allen's agent on the phone right now and go, hey, did you know that your quarterback is going to be on a pitch count this week? And do what? Yeah. The only thing that's going to keep Josh Allen out of this game is if his leg is pointing the opposite direction. Right. And then he's going to try to hobble up in there and get the first down. So, but the thing that does hurt the Bills is their wide receivers. And why I say that with Gabe Davis and Tyrell Shavers is those are their big run blocking wide receivers. How do you think Cook gets on the outside? Is because of those big run blocking wide receivers. Not having those is going to affect that run game. It is. Now, I don't know what coverage the Broncos are going to play. I don't know if they're going to do a cover 2 man zone center. I don't know if they're going to do a cover 1 a spy. I don't know if they're going to drop Hufanga down and just play simple cover 1. I don't know. But this I do know. Keep Josh Allen in the freaking pocket. Keep him in the pocket. So, well, that's what I'm saying. Why you got to crash the pocket. Because if you open the pocket in a rush, right? If you open that pocket on the outside by having Cooper and Benito arc out to come in, that leaves an opening gap right there between the tackle and the guard on the offensive line, because the guard is going to be engaged with the defensive tackle, and he's going to push him into the center, and by push him into the center of the play, and the left tackle or right tackle, whoever it's going to be, is going to push Cooper or Benito, who's ever on whatever side, to the outside, leaving an opening for Allen to get out. You can't do that. When you rush, you gotta rush down. You can't rush out. You've got to rush down by collapsing that pocket, by making the tackle, instead of the tackle blocking like this, now the tackle's got to block like this. You got to make that tackle block be shortened. He can't arch it out. You're going to have to make that tackle, right? My fists are the tackle. Instead of going like this, you got to make that tackle block like this. And what that does is that shrinks that pocket, which allows the interior of the defense and offensive line to crash down. And gap control is a major factor right now. Gap control for the Broncos needs to be taught all week long to Allen, to Enrique, however you pronounce his last name, John Franklin Myers, and Malcolm Roach. Gap control. You have to have gap control, gap discipline, whatever you want to call it. Gap discipline, gap control, they need to be focusing on it massively this week. If you are in the A gap, shut that A gap down. If you are in the B gap, shut that B gap down. Do not allow your engaged offensive lineman to push you out of the gap or to push you where you're not supposed to be. And well, it's the same thing you say about Joe Burrow. It's the same thing you say about Joe Burrow. But again, this is the NFL. That's not how it works. So when we look at X's and O's, right? Hold on real quick. Hold on. Let me grab my chart real quick. Okay, so here's your basic nickel cover 2 defense right here, right? Your basic nickel cover 2. You're going to have Cooper and Benito. What I mean by gap control, you can't have your outsides come down like this. You're going to have them crash down, which gives these guys in the interior where they have to have their gap control between the A and B gap. So Allen most likely is going to be double teamed by the center and the guard. This tackle's going to take him. This tackle's going to take him, which means this guard is going to take him. If they can crash down, you make that pocket, instead of an arch pocket, you make that pocket look like this. And by doing that with your corners, right? Because in the nickel, you're running 5 corners, and you're going to have Greenlaw right here. Greenlaw can crash down, or you can even do the cover 1 robber, where you have Hufanga come down and gap control. So you cannot allow Allen outside of the tackle box. That is a key factor. Do not allow Allen outside of the tackle box. Frizz, you're welcome, brother. No problem. This is why I want to get a bigger whiteboard, and I'm going to be looking for it, because I want to go into deeper depth about gap control, how you stop these quarterbacks and stuff like that. That one's not big enough. I want to get a bigger one to put behind me so we can go step by step. And so, yes, that's what I want to get. So I could just roll it over. Because I've got so many ideas for the off season already, but I have to have a big whiteboard for it. But I like. This is why I wish I was on the Broncos coaching staff right now on the defensive line. Because this is the key thing I would be talking to them about all week long. I'm talking about Ezra Workday, John Franklin Myers, Roach, Allen. I would be preaching and beating into their head gap control. Do not get pushed out of your gap. Do not get pushed out of contain. Make sure you crash that pocket instead of a circle into more like an upside down triangle where he has nowhere to escape. And that's what they did against Jalen Hurts in the fourth quarter. That's what they did against Patrick Mahomes when they played him in Denver. That's what they did to Jordan Love. Gap control. They even did it to CJ Stroud when he was in the game. They did it, everybody wants to say, well, you guys lost to the Jaguars. Yeah, we did. We lost to the Jaguars because we committed too many turnovers. Turnovers will ruin any game. Plain simple, cut and dry. Any turnover will ruin a game. So, but if you look at the X's and O's, they still played good. It's just the turnovers that affected them. And so you limit turnovers. You don't want any in this game, number one. You don't want to give up the big play, and you definitely do not want to allow Allen out of that pocket. Make him uncomfortable. You have to speed up his clock. You've got to speed up his clock. Get him off his timing. Every play is a timing play. Get him off his timing. Get him off rhythm. Again, going into this game, they are 3 wide receivers down. Kincaid or Knox, one of them is kind of beat up. Allen is kind of beat up, but again, they're going to play. It's So I'm trying to hype myself up for this game. I really am. I am nervous about it. I'm nervous about it anytime the Broncos play in general. But I am nervous about this game. And my key factor when it comes to the offense side of the ball, you got to open up the offense more. You got to get more into a hurry up. Not a 2-minute drill, but I'm talking like a 4 or 5 minute drill, right? Get up to the line quicker. Allow Bo Nix to have 15 to 17 seconds at the line to diagnose the defense. So if he has to check to an audible or if he has to make some protection alignment, give him the time while he's at the line. Don't let him get up to the line with 6 to 7 seconds on the play clock because he won't be able to diagnose anything. And that's not on Bo Nix. That's on the coach. That's on getting the play call in. That's on how they call the play and all of that. That's not on Bo Nix. A lot of people think that's on Bo Nix. It's not. That is on Sean Payton. Sounds like Ed Oliver is going to try and be available for the Bills. Yeah, I heard about that with Ed Oliver. Because it's one and done. Everybody's gonna try to go. You're one and done, right? It's win or go home. This is way different than the regular season. There is no tomorrow. You win or you're staying home. You win or you're going home. Plain, simple, cut and dry. There is no tomorrow. That is why playoff football is different than a regular season, and regular season is different than preseason because preseason doesn't count. Regular season gives you seeding and playoffs, and the playoffs, it's win or you're done. This is not the NBA. This is not NHL. This is not MLB. There is no, best out of 3 matchups. It's you win or you go home. And here you go. It's like what Herm Edwards said. You play to win the game. You play to win the game. And that's what they got to go in. Yeah. Losing last year, they say let the bad taste in the Broncos' mouth. Personally, me, I was okay with it. We weren't supposed to be there anyway. We had a rookie quarterback. We were carrying the most dead cap in NFL history. We weren't supposed to be there. We hadn't been there in 9 years. Great. Now you're the number one seed. That expectation's just a little bit different. It's a little bit different. You got home field advantage. One game, and you're hosting the AFC Championship game. One game after that, you're going to Santa Clara to play in the Super Bowl. It is going to be a tough game. We beat the Chiefs coming off of their bye week, where everybody said Andy Reid is unstoppable off of a bye week. We survived the Washington Commanders with everything going wrong. We survived that game. They want to praise the Bears, right? They praise the Bears by being the cardiac Bears, by being down and coming back and winning. They even said that against the Packers. They praise them for doing that, but they criticize us for doing it. Would a loss to the Bills be a failed season or another season of good building, in your opinion? If we lose to the Bills, I don't call it a failed season. I call it a learning experience of where we need to get better. Again, we were not even supposed to be in the playoffs. We were not supposed to be the winners of the AFC West. We were supposed to be dead last at only winning 7.5 games this year, because we were still carrying the most dead cap money by one player in NFL history, Russell Wilson. So we weren't supposed to be here. Sean Payton, Bo Nix, we weren't supposed to be here. They weren't ready. Last year was a fluke. This year we're frauds. Okay, cool, but we're here. Now we've got to stamp our mark. We got to make our mark. Even if we don't go to the Super Bowl, we got to make our mark. I'm doing all right, Martin. How about yourself? I want them to keep thinking we're but all videos, brother. I want them to. I want everybody to come in my chat, say we're the most fraudulent one seed. I want everybody to come into my videos and say the Broncos are trash. I want them to. I do not want to be favorite. I'm glad the Broncos are only favorite on one drafting service or one betting service, DraftKings. I'm happy for it. Everybody else has us as a 3-point underdog. Cool, great. I'll take it. Not really any. I worry more. I don't worry about the Bills' defense against our offense. I worry about our offense against their defense. And what I mean by that is I worry about how we're going to scheme this game, how we're going to operate. Are our receivers going to do what they get paid to do and catch a ball? And are we going to be able to run the ball and have enough time at the line to do it? When you look at all four of these games, there is no clear-cut winner for any one of them. It could go in any direction. Bills, Broncos can go any direction, depending on who shows up and who doesn't. Seahawks, 49ers. Does Sam Darnold show up? Do the 49ers play with all their injuries? Texans, Patriots. Can the Patriots outlive that massive Texans defense, or is the offense of the Texans going to cost them the game? Rams, Chicago. Very cold game, possibly snow. You're having a dome team coming in. You have old man time, Matthew Stafford. Can Puka Nacua and Devontae Adams keep it flowing, keep it going in that cold weather? And can the cardiac Bears not be too far behind to come back in? Because I love the color orange, brother. You're the jinx. We blame you. That's messed up. Where are you going to be at? Where are you going to be sitting at in this game? Oh, you're going to be in the orange section. You're the orange wall. I'll tell you what I would love to try to get is, you remember how they gave out those Super Bowl 50 necklaces? I want to get one so bad. Yeah, I want to get one of those so bad. Yeah, I would love to get one. What you think about Trump? This is a football channel. This is not about politics. Remember, I'm answering two chats. But yeah, I'd love to give me one of those necklaces. That's cool. You're going to be part of the orange wall. That's awesome. You're going to be in a very loud part of the section. So hopefully, when I talk to you on Monday, you're gonna sound like this. Yeah, you can't have no voice coming in Monday because then I know you failed your job as a fan. There you go. Like I said, I am nervous. I can have I can support my team. I can have faith in my team and be nervous at the same time. And I think every fan of all 8 teams this weekend need to look at it that way. You can support your team, but be nervous for your team at the same time. They have not released what Denver is going to be wearing for this game. They have not released their uniform. A lot of people want them to go all orange with the blue helmets. What's up, Ben? You can't wear the alternates. They won't let them. Well, you said old alternates, right? Like the throwback. You can't. Yeah, you can't. Yep. Yeah, you when you get into the play when you get into the playoffs, you're only allowed to wear your home, away, or alternate jersey. You cannot wear any of your throwbacks. Um, you can't wear your alternates. I mean, like your rivalries or anything like that. You're not allowed. You're only allowed to wear that during the regular season, which is absolutely horrible because a lot of people want the Broncos to be able to wear their 70s throwback and the Bills to be able to wear their red helmets since Highmark Stadium is officially closed, but you can't do it. You're not allowed to in the playoffs. You're only allowed to wear those kind of uniforms in the regular season, and you're only allowed to wear them 5 times a year. That's it. Yes, because that is your uniform. That is part of your standard uniform, right? That's not a throwback, right? You can only wear throwbacks and stuff like that for 5 games. You can only wear, it's like, all right, the white helmet, that counts as an alternate, which I love the white helmet with the white jersey and the white pants. But that's, as long as the helmet stays the same, you can wear the all orange, you can wear the all blues, you can wear the blue, whites, orange, and white. You can wear white, orange, white, blue, but of course, since we're going to be home, it's either going to be all orange or all blues. Now, all I have to say, and I know I'm speaking out of turn, and I know I'm speaking ahead, if the Broncos make it to the Super Bowl, do not wear the orange jersey. We have never won a Super Bowl in the orange jersey. The AFC team is the home team this year. No, it flips every year. Every year, one team's the home and one team's away. Last year, the Eagles were the home and the Chiefs were away. This year, it's the AFC's the home and the NFC's away. That's how it always has been. There you go, Champ Bailey. Nice. Nice throw back to Bailey. Yeah, that Champ Bailey was great. Oh heck yeah! I mean, I'm wearing my Tebow jersey. Thank you, Ben. I appreciate that, brother. I do. Thank you. And that's what I try to tell everybody, man, that I try to be the most unbiased fan on this app. Yeah, I'm a Broncos fan, but this is an NFL channel first, Bronco fan second. There you go, H-Town. H-Town, man. Ooh, I like that one. I think they need to give y'all that logo back. I think Tennessee needs to give y'all that logo back. They're never going to do it, but I think they should. Yep. Against Houston. Yep. Yep. I think they need to give that back to Houston. I really do. But and I heard that their new uniform that they're introducing, I think it's either this year or next year because the Titans are getting a new uniform, is going to incorporate the Titan logo and the old Oiler logo together. Yeah, the H Town. I tell you, my favorite one. I love that all red for Houston. Oh, that's the all. Oh, the H Town. Yeah, no, I like the all red helmet with the all red jersey and the all red pants. I love that one. Wow. Yep, there you go. There's the H Town. Yeah, I will agree. I'm not a big fan of the ATL one. Um, I'm interested to see if the Commanders finally change their uniform into something better. Um, yeah, it has. No, you're good, Ben. You're good. Yeah, it's been 5 years. Actually, I think they changed it where you can change your uniform whenever you want now. The NFL, the NFL is right. You got to put it 2 years in advance. That's what I mean. You can change it. You just got to give the NFL advance. And the reason why you got to give them 2 year advance notice is because of them getting ready to sell, sell jerseys, hats and all that kind of stuff. Um, you know, like I said, the Titans announced last or earlier this year before the season they're going to get. I think the Titans are going to get their new. I think the Titans are going to get their new uniform when their new stadium opens. Yes, 27. I do believe it is Nissan. Hey, what's going on, Andrew? That's fine. Yeah, I do believe it's still going to be Nissan Stadium, just like when the Texans get their new stadium. I think it's still going to be NRG Stadium. They're supposed to be working on that here coming a year or two to start building that one. Um, Yeah, the Texans are getting a new stadium. Yeah, because the reason why the Texans are getting a new stadium, the reason why the Texans are getting a new stadium was they broke down the numbers, and it would actually cost more to keep NRG Stadium running and maintenance than it would to build a new one, because the technology that they built with NRG Stadium with the retractable roof, they used the technology from baseball fields that is so old that it's too expensive to actually get the parts to replace it. So it's literally cheaper to tear it down and build a new one. My wife and I will be going to Houston this football season to go to so my wife and I are going to be starting a stadium tour this coming up NFL season to experience the tailgate parties of all 30 NFL stadiums. Oh, heck, Houston barbecue is great. Exactly. The Broncos' new stadium will be opening up in 2031. I'm sure you remember the jersey during the Orange Crush era. I know, yeah, that all orange with the blue. Yeah, I remember that one. But yeah, the Broncos. Go ahead. Well, I was just gonna say, the Broncos bad juju when it comes to Super Bowls wearing the orange jersey. They have never won a Super Bowl wearing the orange jersey. They lost two with. That's why in Super Bowl. That is why in Super Bowl 50, the AFC was the home team, but they chose to wear the away uniform because when they were the home team in Super Bowl 48, they won the orange jersey and got crushed by the Seahawks. And it was the third time that the Broncos had lost the Super Bowl wearing the orange jersey. They did not win the orange. They did not wear the orange jersey in Super Bowl 50. They wore the white. They wore their away. Well, it depends on the emblem. I mean, because you gotta repaint it, and you gotta clean it, repaint it, and you gotta repaint the field, and then bring the new logo in. Yeah, 2013 when we went to Super Bowl 48 is when we wore the orange jersey in MetLife Stadium, and we got absolutely rocked in that game. Same, what was it? Orange jersey when we lost to the 49ers, when we lost to the uh, Washington Redskins, and then in Super Bowl 32 and 33 we wore the blue jersey and then the white jersey, and then in Super Bowl 50 we won the white jersey. We have never won a Super Bowl wearing the orange. It's not a conspiracy theory, it's a superstition. It's a They should be. Every team. Yeah, I have blue jerseys. Yeah, my wife and I get. I'm answering another chat. My wife and I can't wait to go to Buffalo. But okay. So when it comes to the Texans, and I'm going to say it again, it's like I said last week going against the Steelers. C.J. Stroud does not have to win this game against the Patriots. He just can't lose it. He can't lose it. That defense is too good. That defense is too good. They can score you points. They can score you points. You just can't have C.J. Stroud have two fumbles and an interception because you can't give Drake May a short field. Yeah, Martin, it's going to be bad that I can't jump to a table. Okay, I got two questions. Right, but you were going up against a really beat up Chargers offense. If that Chargers offense was 100%, the Chargers win that game because that defense was playing locked down. But the Texans defense by far in the numbers and everything else is way better than the Chargers defense. That defense for the Texans is straight up scary. Who? Who? Yeah, oh yeah, you guys are underdog by 3. Yeah, he's fumbled 5 times and lost 2. I'm fine with it too. But what were you saying on videos? They'll never do it. They'll never do it. When is the last time Roger Goodell and the NFL listened to fans? When is the last time the NFL and Roger Goodell listened to fans? Please, somebody explain that one to me. I'll tell you this, Roger Goodell is going nowhere. Love him, hate him, it don't matter. As long as Roger Goodell is bringing in over 20 some odd $billion a year for the NFL, that man ain't going nowhere. As long as that green keeps rolling in, he ain't going anywhere. Oh, he does. He tries everything. That's why do you think he gets booed at the draft? Why do you think when my wife and I go to the draft, we are going to boo him when he walks on stage? Dirk, what's up, Dirk? It is. It's got to be tradition. Denver Dev. It's got to be tradition. It's kind of like the Kurt Angle, you suck kind of chance, right? You got to boo Roger Goodell. If you don't, you're cursed. If you don't, you're cursed for that year. He does, and that's what. Hey, what's up, Matthew? That's what makes him great. I love the Patriots, but I love all fans. I wish you luck. God bless and be kind. Absolutely, I love every fan. That's what I said. This channel is a football channel first, Bronco channel second, because I want to create a community where every sports fan, every football team fan can come on here and get an honest take for somebody. I don't want to be biased. I don't want that. Anytime, Ben. Anytime. How you feeling about our chances? We have a good chance, Broncos country too. But again, it's Josh Allen and the Buffalo Bills. It is. It's Josh Allen and the Buffalo Bills. Do you want Bob Miller back? No, I don't. Oh, hey, oh, no, no. I was a huge Tebow fan. No, I was a huge Tebow fan. I just wish they would have moved him to tight end instead of got rid of him when Peyton Manning came in. Yep. What's up, Dirk? How you feeling, Dirk, now that Mike Tomlin's gone? Okay, all right, Dirk. I'm glad you're in here. Hold on, guys. This is for Dirk. I'm glad you're in here. And Tomlin's gone. Who do you want as your next head coach? Not gonna happen. Not gonna happen. Oh, oh, dude, that would be so bad. You gotta go offense. You gotta go offense. Oh yeah, the OC. I like Clint Kubiak from Seattle. I like Davis Webb from the Broncos, the quarterback coach. Um, well, think about this though. Think about this. If the Broncos are going to lose them, right? The Broncos are going to lose them. We just have to deal with it. And if you look at the Steelers, if you bring in a good head coach, you could bring in Mike McDaniel as your OC. But it all depends on if you're going younger. I mean, what's really going to hurt the Steelers, and I'm going to put it out there, is if they hire Mike McCarthy. The deal with Pittsburgh outside of the head coach, right? We all know that the head coach is the main focus. The second most important part for Pittsburgh going into 2026 is who is going to be your quarterback. A lot of people are saying Brian Flores to Pittsburgh, even though he's a defensive minded head coach. Brian Dayball would be a good fit. Brian Dayball would be a good fit. I mean, he's an offensive minded head coach with experience. Brian Dayball, head coach. Hold on, Dirk. Brian Dayball, head coach. Mike McDaniel, OC. Oh yeah, they're getting hardball. Yeah, pretty much. Pretty much. You gotta stick with him for over a decade. The major factor outside a head coach is is your quarterback, and I want to see Will Howard too. I want to see Will Howard at Ohio State. But but here's the problem. This is I liked him. I liked D'Amico. I love D'Amico. But here's the problem with Pittsburgh. Here's the problem with Pittsburgh. Here's the problem though with the Steelers that nobody is talking about. Look what they did. Look what they did for this year. Trading Pickens away, trading for DK Metcalf, signing Aaron Rodgers, letting key player go. This new head coach, it's not just a quarterback away. He is now going to have to completely change and rebuild this offense. You're going to have to get a running game. You're going to have to get better wide receivers. You know, you're going to have to get a wide receiver too. You're going to have to build up this line. It's a area that Pittsburgh really hasn't been in probably what 30 years. They haven't been in this kind of predicament since Ben Roethlisberger was drafted. So Raiders are gonna and after Clint Kubiak head coach Dayball as offense coordinator. Clint Kubiak in Vegas would be great. All right, Raven. Raven? What's your question? Yeah, it's like I said earlier, Raven, before you came on here, brother. Every team, all 8 teams, have to worry about who they're playing. Every single one of them. There is no clear cut. Oh, this team's winning, that team's winning. Even with Seattle and San Francisco, there is no clear cut winner for all 8 teams. There's just not. Yep. Yep. You're absolutely right. That's why I said there's no clear cut winner. What they got the Rams favored by 3.5. They got the Seahawks favored by 7. I'm sorry, there's just no clear cut with these games. They could go either way. Tied in, tied in. Loveland could absolutely ball out this game against the Rams. He is. I think that's too low. I think that's too low. I think Loveland's going to have over 100. I think Loveland's going to have over 100. Loveland, the tight end for the Bears. Hey, man, thank you for the gifts, man. I appreciate that, guys. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, absolutely. Again, there's no clear cut, in my opinion, for all these games. My NFL team is in Cancun. I'm having a good time with a margarita. LL. There you go, Madison. Arizona doesn't even feel like an NFL franchise anymore. Yeah, I'm glad you brought up Arizona because nobody is talking about Arizona again. My wife is a diehard Cardinals fan. Diehard Cardinals fan. Oh yeah, she absolutely loves the Arizona Cardinals. She became a Cardinals fan. She absolutely loves it. Absolutely loves it. She became a Cardinals fan when Kurt Warner and Larry Fitzgerald were there. Um, I try to give them love, mamas. You know, by the way, guys, Gigi in the chat is my wife. I try to give the Cardinals as much love as I can. I'm very interested in their head coach search, what they're going to do with Kyler Murray, who they're going to bring in to replace Kyler Murray. Do you go in the draft? Do you have the number 3 overall pick? I got to tell you guys this right now. We are going to the draft, Dirk. I know you're going to the draft. I might need your help to contain my wife on that 3rd pick if they don't pick somebody right. And she charges that stage. Because she's gonna go after him with her chancla. She wants she wants a quarterback. She wants a quarterback. I think she wants that kid out of Oregon. Yeah, but we got to wait and see. We got to wait and see, though, if he gets approved. We got to wait and see, though. He, he did not get approved, but they're repetitioning. He did not get approved for another year of eligibility, so he's repetitioning. And if it gets denied again, then he has to go into the draft. And if that were the case, Chambers out of Ole Miss to Arizona would be great. Nope, he's not. Yeah, if Chambers has to come out because right now, even though it's Mel Kiper Jr. and I don't like Mel Kiper Jr., he's got Mendoza going one to the Raiders. He's got Dante Moore and Oregon going to the Jets. And if Will Chambers has to come out, Will Chambers is going to land right there with Arizona at number 3. What's that? All videos? He, Ole Miss quarterback. Yeah, Trinidad. Thank you, Trinidad. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. I get it, but again, let's look at Arizona though, real quick. Look at Arizona though. Whatever you go, whoever goes to Arizona as a quarterback, you're going with Trey McBride, one of the best tight ends in the NFL. Connor's going to be back as your running back. You're going to have third year wide receiver Marvin Harrison Jr. Hopefully something can work there, and having Michael Wilson's going to be back. You have a pretty good stout defense that they can stay healthy. So that defense, if they stay healthy, is good. So you're gonna go to a good area, right? Now it depends on the team, the head coach. Are you going offensive minded, defensive minded? I really haven't heard who is favored for Arizona. They're like the dark horse of the coaching carousel. They're really not talked about that much, which upsets me. Right. So if you go offensive minded, you go offensive minded. Um, You're going to save a lot of money, number one. And here's another deal, right? You cut Kyler Murray, you're saving a lot of money. Why don't they go get, if there's no clear cut quarterback in this draft that you want, depending on who the head coach is, go get Malik Willis. Go get Malik Willis, go get Snoop Huntley, somebody that can carry you for a little bit. Who, Arizona? They're the third pick. Yeah, Raiders ain't giving up number one. Yep. Because of the money you can save by cutting Kyler. That's what it is right now. It's coming down to money. By cutting Kyler Murray, you're saving a ton of money against the cap. We all figured that one. Absolutely. So right now the Cardinals are sitting. Hold on. The Cardinals are. I have a good one on video. The Cardinals are sitting at 44 million in cap space. By cutting Kyler Murray, 27, you would save 26 million against the cap next year alone. You're eating 27 million over the next 2 years. That's nothing. Well, okay, so Lamar's deal is 74.5 million next year and 74.5 million the year after that. So if you were to trade for Kyler Murray or trade for Lamar, who if that were to ever happen, which I don't think it does, but let's just go down this rabbit hole. Whoever were to trade for Lamar Jackson, as soon as he is signed, sealed, and delivered on that trade, that dude's getting a new contract and lowering that cap hit from 74.5 million. It's going to be extended, kind of like what a Josh Allen 6-year, $330 million deal. So you look at it that way. Just because you're trading, yeah, you're trading for the contract that he has now at 74.5 million this year, 74.5 million the year after that, meaning 26, 27. But if you trade for him, as soon as he enters in that door and that trade is done, signed, sealed, and delivered, the next piece of paper you're handing him is a contract for 6-year, 300, 6-year, 330. And you're lowering that cap hit down to 50, 55 million a year, saving 20 some odd million, putting a whole bunch of incentives, probably backloading it, where the first couple of years you're actually going to be paying him about 20 some odd million against the cap, 30, 40 million in bonus incentives and stuff like that. So that's how you would do it. Now, looking at the board right now, looking at my third monitor, by cutting Murray, your cap space would go. You would be carrying 54 million dead cap over the next 2 years. Compared to the Broncos carrying 83 million over 2 years, that ain't nothing. Right now, I think the Dallas Cowboys are carrying over almost 100 million in dead cap space. So, upping your salary cap from 44 to 70 plus million with the free agency market. If you get a rookie quarterback in the draft, you're paying a rookie salary. If you don't, and you go get like a Malik Willis out of Green Bay, who is a free agent, you're not going to be paying him a ton of money, probably 5-6 million a year. And so that still gives you a ton of money to focus on other areas of your team and your draft. So you're taking that third pick instead of using it on a quarterback that you're going to question. You've seen the film with Malik Willis. You've seen the film with with Snoop Huntley. And whoever the new head coach is if they can work with that until the draft class is better by saving that money and focusing on you would be building a team around a quarterback that you go, we're going to run the ball. We're going to we stout up front where you've got one of the best tight ends in a security blanket. We're going to get you another wide receiver at the third pick. That would be a dream scenario. Dream scenario. Because you're building a team around a quarterback that you have film on, that you see can win games, that you see can be competitive. No, Kyler Murray has been proven that he can't. Kyler Murray has proven he cannot be an NFL quarterback. I'm sorry. I've watched the kid his entire career. He's a one read wonder. One read wonder. %. 100%. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. I Do you see Daniel Jones coming back to the Indianapolis Colts? If not, where do you go? I don't know where Daniel Jones is going to end up. And no, I don't think he goes back to the Colts. I think they're going to rock with that guy out of Notre Dame that they have. AJ Brown, I would not bring in because I was asked that question about the Broncos. Would I bring AJ Brown in next year? Absolutely not. That dude quits on his team. I don't want him. He's toxic in the locker room. He quits on his team. No, I don't want that with my team. Not at all. What team wouldn't pick him up is a better question. I mean, what team would not pick up Lamar? But if you now number one, you're trading for Lamar. There is no you're just picking him up. You're trading for Lamar. And you better be prepared as an organization to give up more than what the Browns gave up for Deshaun Watson. Yep. Titans, Raider, Giants. No, Derek Henry ain't going anywhere. Oh, that would be so funny. Well, it was also because Dallas didn't pick him up when he moved to Dallas. Right, you got to remember, Derrick Henry moved to Dallas, started working out with Dallas. A lot of the Dallas Cowboy players were trying to petition for Jerry Jones to sign him, but Jerry Jones didn't want to sign an $8 million quarterback or $8 million running back. That's why he went and got Zeke Elliott. Well, you got to look at it. They had no coach. They had no coach. Yeah, yeah. Well, go ahead, Chris. Okay, so let's look at it this way. Hold on, let's look at it this way. Harbaugh with the Raiders. I get it. This one I don't know will happen because I don't know if both Harbaughs would want to be in the same division together. But let's look at this hypothetical. Harbaugh with the Raiders. You got the number one overall pick. You have one of the best, if not the best, young tight end in the NFL, Brock Bowers. You have Ashton Genty as your running back. You have Max Crosby on the defense. You got to work on the interior offensive line. Again, you got the number one overall pick. Tom Brady is your general manager, quote unquote. That is a good area. Again, you got high draft picks, young team. That could be an area that he could go in. Having a solid run game with Genty, bringing in Mendoza at number one, fix up that interior line. Genty will take the pressure off of Mendoza. Brock Bowers will take the pressure off of Mendoza. I get it, trading Jacoby Myers. I don't understand that move, but they did it. So I mean, Harbaugh is going to have the pick, have his pick. Harbaugh is going to have the pick of the litter of who he wants, and you know, again, I think the three are Giants, Titans, Raiders. I thought Miami was a big go for him, but with the whole Tua situation, I just don't know if he wants to deal with that. I don't know if offensive coordinator, which they're going to get now. I would bring in Mike McDaniels as my OC. I would bring in Mike McDaniels as my OC. I would strip AJ Brown out. Try to pick up another wide receiver in free agency or draft one. Every time that AJ Brown had great numbers, they lost, and he quit on his team. He quit on his team. That's why I don't want him in Denver. I do not want a player that quits on my team. I don't want that. I don't want that at all. I don't want that distraction in my locker room if I'm the Denver Broncos. I just don't. AJ Brown to the Cardinals. That depends on who the head coach is going to be because you're going to have a strong-minded head coach. Yeah, our head coach, Sean Payton, is a strong-minded head coach. Could he, settle AJ Brown down? Possibly. I mean, Payton ain't going to take that crap. I just don't want to risk it. I don't want to risk the possibility of having a distraction and a toxicity come into my locker room. So, because with Arizona, you get rid of Kyler Murray to get rid of that distraction, to get rid of that toxic in the locker room. Dallas. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I could hear you. Yeah, yep, yeah, absolutely. Who's the next coach in Pittsburgh? No idea. The Buffalo Bills? Be, yeah, that's a big deal. I don't know. But hey, guys, I'm sorry I have to end this here. I have a doctor's appointment here in about 45 minutes. So thank you guys so much for coming in and hanging out with me. I will be back tomorrow at 11 Eastern again. Thank you guys so much for the love. Thank you for the new followers. And again, guys, thank you for helping this channel grow. I love you too, mamas. If it wasn't for you guys, this channel would not be going anywhere. We would not get the fan base in here that we get. I greatly appreciate it. To everybody who gave me gifts, thank you guys so much. You know I will never ask for it. I hope you all have a great rest of your Wednesday. Have fun, stay safe, and I will see you guys on here tomorrow. Peace. Thank you.